So every position in the NFL has a couple players who are just flat out better than everybody else who plays that position. And tight end is no different. And one of the players who is head and shoulders above the rest is George Kittle. Yeah, you have Travis Kelce. And honestly, I think right now they're in a complete league of their own. There have been arguments that you could make for other players in and out. Mark Andrews, maybe you could put in that same type of category, to be honest with you. But other than that, they stand alone. And a lot of people have compared Sam LaPorta's game to George Kittle. A lot of people compared Hawkinson's game to Kittle as well. I'm going to tell you why Hawkinson's isn't and LaPorta's is. But first, let's see what Kittle has to say about Sam LaPorta, because people are talking to him. Now, here's one thing that all three of these players have in common. They all went to Iowa. They are all Hawkeyes. So they all went to Iowa. They're good football players. They're all tight ends. So it seems like they would know each other pretty well. I don't remember Kittle saying anything much about Hawkinson when he came out, but here's what he had to say about LaPorta. All right. It says, just watching him work out, the way he moves, he's got a great forward lean, great burst out of his breaks, great hands, and he's eager too. Sam's going to be just fine. He's going to make some big plays this year. Now, everybody, when you're answering questions, we'll go back to that quote in a minute. Everybody, when you're answering questions, has to say some nice things, right? Like, of course, you have to say nice things. You're not going to be like, oh, yeah, former Iowa guy. Yeah, he's going to stink in the NFL. I think he's going to be terrible. No, he has to say nice things. So you have to read deeper into things like this. Is he going to be like, oh, yeah, Sam, hard worker. He's going to be fine this year. I'm excited for him to do big things for the Lions. That's what a normal thing would be. But he didn't say that. Just watching him work out, the way he moves, like he's looking at the movement, it's different. And he says he's got a great forward lean. Now he's getting into specifics, great burst in and out of breaks. He great hands, and he's eager. Look, here's the thing. He didn't even talk about the one thing that all of us love about Sam LaPorta, which is his ability to break tackles. But part of the reason he can break tackles is because he does have a great forward lean. I know that's also talking about blocking. It's because he does have great burst in and out of his breaks. It means he cuts more fluid than you think he would, which helps you both in running routes and in breaking tackles. And he's eager. Like, he plays hard. That is, if you said to George Kittle, what is it about your game that makes you so good? He would talk about how eager he is. He would talk about his love for the game. He would talk his ability to get in and out of breaks. He'd talk about his forward lean. He would talk about his blocking ability. He would talk about, more than anything, his love for the game and how he just wants it more. So when we see these things, it's like, oh my goodness, there's one guy who clearly sees himself in the other guy. And that's what I like about this signing. And by signing, I mean rookie signing. Now, we had another tight end who we wanted to say the same thing about. Let's talk now about why Hawkinson didn't fit in the Lions system. And let's talk about why he wasn't George Kittle. When George Kittle comes to the game, when it's Sunday, it's game day, do you think George Kittle cares how many receptions and yards he has? Maybe a little, but what does he care more about? Yards and receptions or that W? What does he care more about? Getting a catch or a pancake block? What does he care more about? Getting some yak yards or getting a catch or getting a good seal on the edge, getting a good seal block? Like, I think the answer is he loves them all. Hawkinson, when you talk, not talk to, but when you hear and listen to the beat writers, Hawkinson was a guy who wanted to get his catches. He also was a willing blocker. A willing blocker. I wouldn't say he was an enthusiastic blocker. One of the words George Kittle used for LaPorta is that he's eager. I think LaPorta's eager to do anything. We'll find out if he's got that dog in him that Kittle has. We're going to find out. because so far he's excitable. You can tell he loves being in the NFL. You can tell he's happy he's in Detroit. He's having a blast. He's messing around with his former Iowa teammate, Jack Campbell. He's killing it. He was killing it in rookie minicamp. We'll find out what he does in OTAs now, maybe depending on what we get to see from him. But man, oh man, like the difference between Hockenson and LaPorta, hopefully, because we don't know a ton about LaPorta, is Hockenson was a receiver who wanted his catches, but then what happened after the catch? We've talked about it, but if you've missed those videos, what I talked about was how LaPorta had, I want to say 19 or 20 broken tackles this year. That's remarkable. That is absolutely remarkable. Like he had a broken tackle on 1 out of every 3 catches, almost. And like it was, I think, 2nd or 3rd of all eligible players. The dude break tackles. That is reminiscent of Kittle. That's George Kittle's calling card. That's Travis Kelce's calling card. And you can see with both Kittle and Kelce, the forward lean. That is exactly what Kittle's talking about. Hockenson caught the ball, and it was like this guy finds more ways to fall awkwardly and hard than anybody I've ever seen in my life. And he does too. It's so weird when he gets hit, instead of getting fluid, instead of bouncing off tackles, instead of absorbing contact and allowing the body to take some of the blow while you maintain balance, it was just like he was hitting. He was like, whoa! Like he was just gone. It was like, you know what I like to equate it to? When I'd see Hockenson get tackled, watching funny fail videos of babies getting hit. Not like babies, like toddlers. You know how when they get hit, their whole body falls, right? It's not like they're trying to catch themselves or catch their balance. Like they get hit, their whole body is just see it. That's how Hockenson would get tackled. The amount of times his feet would be taken under him and he'd just get straight horizontal and land flat. And he did not have that wiggle. He did not have those kind of cuts. And he had a lot of good catches. A lot of them were contested catches because he wasn't as clean in and out of his breaks. TJ Hockenson is a good football player. He is a good receiving tight end. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. I think in Minnesota, they are utilizing him even better. That's how their offense is designed. So he is going to be a top 10 receiving tight end for a long time. I think LaPorta has the ability to be much more. I'm not saying he will be much more. I think he has the ability to be much more. I think he has the ability to be a better blocker. He 100% is going to be better. Okay, I don't want to just say 100%. It is a very strong possibility and very likely that he will be much better after the catch than Hockenson, and he will be better at creating separation. Those are very likely. This is exciting. Kittle's on board. Are you? It's nice to be excited about draft picks, isn't it? In Brett Holmes we trust. We'll see you on the next one. Leave a comment below. Hit the subscribe button. Become a member. See ya.